Yes, I'm Aiden Fiero. Staffing problems at several air traffic control facilities continued on Tuesday. The Federal Aviation Administration said those issues caused increased delays for travelers. The Department of Transportation said that could force them to close some parts of the airspace. Travelers at airports in Houston saw delays of 40 minutes or longer. At Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, delays were around 45 minutes. Since the start of the government shutdown just over a month ago, there have been at least 417 reports of staffing triggers. Those have required action in the form of delayed or rerouted flights. One grocery store chain is urging customers to bring exact change due to a national coin shortage. Kroger is asking shoppers to consider providing exact change when using cash for payment. But the retailer will continue accepting pennies for their payment. In a statement, Kroger officials said signs will be displayed across stores in Ohio and northern Kentucky. The move comes after President Donald Trump ordered the Treasury Department in February to end penny production. Since Trump's announcement, Congress has been considering a bill to formalize a decision to stop making pennies. Tens of thousands of Jeep plug-in hybrid SUVs are being recalled due to a potential fire risk. Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep, says the issue has to do with potential battery failure in the vehicles. The company's review of customer data and a following investigation found 19 reports of fires, with one injury. The recall covers certain model year 2020 to 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4Xs, as well as 2022 to 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4Xs. In total, more than 375,000 of the SUVs are under recall, with the bulk of those in the U.S. Stellantis cautions vehicle owners to not recharge their batteries. Also, their SUVs should be parked away from structures and other vehicles until a fix is made. The Trump administration is providing $24 million in emergency assistance to countries hit by Melissa. That breaks down to $12 million in assistance for Jamaica, $8.5 million for Haiti, $3 million for Cuba, and $500,000 for the Bahamas. The funding will be used for housing, water, food, sanitation, and emergency health care. The U.S. expects to announce additional assistance packages in the coming days, after personnel on the ground further assess the damage. That's all we have for our national news. Now let's look at what's been going on here in Nacogdoches. About 126,000 Texans are affected every day that the fund is delayed. With the recent government shutdown, SNAP benefits have been halted, leaving 3.5 million Texans without a way to afford nutritious food. Food insecurity is more common in rural areas as compared to urban areas, with the highest food insecurity rates being found in the South. Nacogdoches County has about 17.3% of residents that have received SNAP funding within the past year. The government plans to continue funding SNAP during the shutdown through the contingency funds. The problem is that the contingency funds wouldn't really be able to support the program for the remaining months of this year. According to the Texas Tribune, the Trump administration will help by partially funding SNAP in November, although it's not really clear on how much funding a Lone Star cardholder will get and when they'll get it. New cottage food laws are being put into place in Texas. Here's some of the things being added to those already existing laws. Sales can now be up to $150,000 per year, tripling that previous number. The list of things that can be sold has been expanded to include the following products: meat, seafood, ice, raw milk, products containing CBD, and low-acid canned goods. Locals still want more included with these laws, like Samantha, who works for the Applebee Community Farm, a frequent at the Nacogdoches Farmers Market.
I ran into problems with if you want it to fall under the cottage law, which protects people from being sued against, right? If they get sick off your product. The pressed juice doesn't fall under the cottage law because it has to be refrigerated.
Hopefully next year, these laws will continue to expand to provide even greater support to local sellers like Samantha. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is an ancient holiday that has origins all the way back to when the Aztecs lived in what is now central Mexico. It is celebrated on October 31st to November 2nd, as these are the days that the gates of heaven are open and the spirits of people's loved ones can rejoin their families.
And it's just really beautiful how we celebrate all this, because I personally think you can never truly forget the people that passed away in your family. I think it's great to keep their spirit alive even after their death.
Not only are there celebrations and parades, but there are often ofrendas made to welcome and honor the dead. Ofrendas are altars filled with candles, orange marigolds, and pictures of those who have passed. They can be in a family's home, or there can even be one in the public for the whole community to see. I love this one. The Old Stone Fort Museum hosts a spooky event for the Halloween weekend. More info with Alejandro Enriquez.
Once thought buried forever, one event comes back from the grave. The Old Stone Fort Harvest Fest lives again, reanimated on the SFA campus as the Ghost Fest, showing how-tos for cooking and crafts and many other activities.
So the Old Stone Ghost Fest, which is a resurrection of the Old Stone Harvest Fest, we'll have taffy making outside, along with crafts such as weaving, and also, importantly, we'll be setting up an ofrenda in honor of Antonio Hilibarbo for the Day of the Dead celebration.
Other than the Halloween event, the Old Stone Fort Museum, as the name suggests, holds many exhibits like fabricating fashion, which showcases the region's textile arts. The museum also holds many historic artifacts, which are still being added to its collection.
I think it was Monday that Patricia Lane donated her great-great-grandfather's derringer that is purportedly from, originally, Sam Houston, given to her great-great-grandfather, who was Dr. Fall, who lived in Chirino, given to him in appreciation for medical services. It's a nice artifact. It'll be on display in January.
Even if there isn't a big event happening, the Old Stone Fort Museum is still a place worth checking out. From its centuries-old walls to the stories that shape Nacogdoches, there's always something new to learn and experience. So whether you're a history lover, a student looking for a quiet spot, or just exploring the town, the Old Stone Fort is always open to visitors ready to step back in time. For JackTV News, I'm Alejandro Enriquez.
If you want to know more about the Old Stone Fort Museum, visit their page on the SFA website. Now let's take a closer look at what's been happening on campus. SFA is celebrating a record-breaking day. The university has received more than 2,700 applications in a single day, setting a new all-time high. SFA officials say the spike came during the statewide free application weekend, which waived fees for students applying to colleges across Texas. That timing also lined up with Showcase Saturday on November 1st, when hundreds of prospective students and their families toured campus and met with faculty. Leaders credit SFA's Lumberjacks Make Great marketing campaign for helping drive that momentum and connect with students about their future careers.
We're going to continue telling our story, talking about the positive impacts that SFA has, not only on current students, but what type of careers can you have outside of SFA, and that's part of the Lumberjacks Make Great campaign, is to
SFA says it plans to build on that success by continuing outreach efforts and keeping the application window open throughout the semester. SFA is featuring Texas gardening author Pam Pennick to speak at the 7th Annual Student-Run Fall Plant Fair. With more on this is Faith Fuller.
Students in Stephen F. Austin State University's horticulture program hosted the 7th Annual Fall Plant Fair at the SFA Plannery. Plants were available for purchase, including a variety of winter annuals, native perennials, houseplants, and succulents, all of which thrive in the East Texas area. This event featured Pam Pennick, Texas gardener, speaker, and author, who gave a presentation based on her new book, Gardens of Texas. She was available to sell and sign her books following the presentation. Pennick is a Texas gardener who advocates for climate-resilient design. She's the author of Gardens of Texas, Lawn Gone.
I grew up in kind of a gardening family. My mom gardens and her mom gardens. And I didn't really think about gardening for a long time, but then I got into it once we had our first house.
and I just fell in love with it. I mean, I just started reading everything that I could about it. I started visiting the local botanic garden. I started taking design classes, and I just got fascinated by it.
Hennig now tends her own garden under live oaks in Northwest Austin after being a former landscape designer. She also leads Garden Spark, a speaker series that brings bold ideas in design and ecology to the Austin gardening community. The Plannery is a program within the Department of Agriculture where students grow and raise plants in the microfarm, sprout, the greenhouses, and the teaching gardens around the agriculture building.
The habitat that you can create for wildlife is just all a really great place to feel in touch with the world.
Our horticulture program is thriving, and the Fall Plant Fair is an excellent showcase of our students' hard work and the energy and excitement within our department.
For more information about SFA's horticulture program, go to sfasu.edu/agriculture. Let's get the holiday cheer going on for today's fun story. A unique piece of fashion once seen on the big screen can be yours for the right price. The green wool tunic with the white faux fur collar and cuffs worn by Will Ferrell in the film Elf is going up for auction. The costume features a pair of yellow fleece-like stockings and a pair of black leather shoes with curled toes. There's also a green pointed hat that has a yellow pleated sash and a red feather. Bidding for the buddy outfit ends on December 5th. That's all for now on JackTV News. Keeping you informed and connected, I'm Aiden Firo. Thanks for watching. Axum.